Piece back in the day right there, guys. You see how the flaps are controlling which way that the thing is moving?
Yeah, it's like blowing the flaps.
Yep. There's some pretty creative people back in the day. What does it say? Westinghouse?
Westinghouse. Yep. Made by Westinghouse.
That what?
So, Westinghouse Electric. Let's see, the patent date is... No, hold on a minute.
Let me get my glasses.
My old eyes. 93.
18?
That's 1893. So that's the patent date, so it was probably built in 1900.
Yeah, so 121 years.
Yeah. Yep. Is this film? Oh man, we're getting filmed. So, I'm going to show you all something funny. You ready for this?
Okay.
So, yeah. A friend of ours out of Lido, one of the bartenders.
Yep.
His dad was an engineer out in California. And I'm not sure what he was involved with, but he was the guy to talk to him. He was a genius. And he tells me this story. He says, my dad, for what, 35 years, every time he would go walking at night to walk his dogs through his life, whatever he found on the ground, he would pick it up and bring it home. And then he would take it to his work, and it would all be on his workbench. I'm like, are you kidding me, man? He goes, oh, it's insane. You should see it. So he starts showing me pictures of his workbench. I'm like, it looks like Bob's office. I'm like, are you kidding me? So I guess his dad was getting up there and going into a nursing home or whatever. So he tells his dad that he told us this story. Next thing you know, he ships everything to us.
All the stuff in his desk.
This is one man's 35-year walking the dog collection
of stuff you found on the ground.
You would not believe what you would find in that pile if you look through it. Yeah.
See some old Pez dispenser there?
There's everything. There's broken cell phones. There's
a pacifier.
There's feminine products. Oh, that monster.
You got a big...
So the one that she saw was coming right across the back. It is the biggest rattler I've ever seen.
It's still out there somewhere?
As soon as I got home, she was out watching it. I came in the house, went to the safe. As soon as I got out, he'd just gone off and palmettos.
Yeah, he knew you were coming after him.
He was not going to have a good day when I found him.
Hannah. I don't
know if he's going to pull out here.
How is it not decayed? You're good. Oh my God.
Holy macaroni. Is that frozen? Like it was in the freezer?
Yeah. That's a crunchy snake.
That's every bit of a 6-footer there.
Oh, he's got more.
These are from your property.
Yep.
Oh, stay over here. Isn't that gross?
Wow.
That one's tail is so sloppy.
Wait, how did you kill this guy? There's like, oh, yep, I see the evidence now. It's like, man, he looks really pristine.
Where's this guy shot?
Underneath, probably. But they even still got the rattlers there, preserved.
Either one of these, you'd be
in big trouble if one of those got you.
At the hospital
that right man, now. He died smiling. This thing is absolutely enormous.
Holy macaroni.
It's taller than you, James. Imagine that.
So what would this pump water or?
Well, so here we go again. Years ago, when you needed 3-phase power and a lot of it, you were off grid. That's what this engine did. And this engine in 2 3-cylinders ran a celery packing house down in Belglade. They were way off the grid. Now what did it do? Okay, this was bolted to the flywheel, to the crankshaft. There was a bearing right here. Now where this wear mark is, outbound of this was a huge ammonia compressor. And there were clutches that would drop in and grab this wheel. That's why this is for. So the ammonia compressor is for running refrigeration. Okay? Now also, this was belted to this generator, which is 106,000 watts.
Wow.
This wasn't for one house.
It was for a celery packing house. A huge operation.
A business, a big business.
Yeah. 3 engines. And they would run them 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 6 months out of the year.
And when was this decommissioned?
This was shut down in 75.
1975.
This ran until 75.
1938 till 1975.
So 48 years ago. In the 20th century, it was.
Now, and again, this is when you couldn't call FP&L and go like, hey, we need a 4,000 amp transformer brought in here.
Yep.
You called Fairbanks Morse or whoever and said, okay, I need this much power. What can you do for me? This was how you ran. Now in downtown,
I'll bring you one of these, sir.
in downtown Sarasota, on the corner of Orange and 10th, there were 2 6-cylinders that ran Sarasota until 1948.
It ran the city of Sarasota.
Yep. Excuse me? Absolutely. Come here. Come on. They made this from a single to a 6-cylinder. There were 2 6-cylinders in downtown Sarasota. And the word is they're still in the Bahamas running taking power.
Wow. Down in like
Down in the islands.
third world,
Yeah.
not connected to the grid.
Nope.
Is this hard to start up?
So why would you need to walk up that ladder to look at something?
Check
to
temperatures.
Check your, make everything's running, make sure it's running. Okay.
There's a. Are you going to start this up today? Are you going to start this up today or no?
Yeah, absolutely. You guys are going to fire it up.
Huh? We are?
I'm going to put you at the helm. I'm going to show you how to do it.
Okay.
So this weighs 23,000 pounds. The one at the
You have
shop.
to build this to
Yep.
hold this.
17 yards of concrete are underneath that.
Reinforced.
Now, this slab is 6 inches thick. That goes down probably about 6 feet. 17
Wow.
yards. Now, the one at the shop that we're working on is just like this, except this has 14-inch pistons and that one's got 12-inch pistons.
Okay.
They were owned by the same company. Wedgeworth Farms is still in business, and they are a huge fertilizer and sugarcane operation down there. Yep. So, all right, let's get the party started.
Okay. Man, I sure am glad that cloud cover came in. It made it feel pretty.
See, it actually helps.
It's not that bad out.
All right, so the first thing we got to do,
What is that? Just regular old gas?
diesel.
Diesel.
Yep.
Okay.
This does not run without air. This engine is air start. So it starts off compressed air
Right.
being forced into that cylinder, and that pushes that piston down and gets it running.
You got an air compressor?
Yep. So the first thing we're going to do, we got to air this tank up to about, being it's a warm day, probably 200 psi will get us what we need. So, come on over here. Actually, let me grab some oil real quick. I'll be right back.
Because a friend of his son and my son are best friends. So when my son and his friend were always together, they were always around him. So I remember my son always coming home and my son refers to him. So I remember my son coming home all the time saying, Mom, we were at Pete's house, we went out on the boat, we were riding around the four wheels, and that is how we met.
So I was friends with Vincent on Facebook, and one night they were at his birthday party, and
Yes.
so she looked familiar in one of the pictures. I'm like, and I'd probably seen her at some point dropping Vincent off at my friend Ronnie's house.
Yeah.
So I send her a friend request on Facebook, and she goes to Vincent. She's like, "Who is this guy? I'm not accepting this." She goes, "Oh, that's Big D." That's how we met.
He's nice, you gotta talk to him.
And then boom.
He's nice. Little did you know.
So what are you oiling up here? Is this part of this?
Yeah, that's the
This is the
compressor.
compressor.
Okay.
Now, that is the correct compressor for the gas that's going on that engine. So we're using this to build up the air to start that.
That's just a storage tank for the air.
Yep, you got it. Okay, so
It's going to compress the air. That tank. And he just used like an old oiling gun that you would see in like Wizard
How
of
old is
Oz.
this engine, Dave? This one right here.
this engine is late 30s. There's a serial number on it.
There's the
1930s.
stickers over here.
Late 30s.
Part that I
The interesting thing about this engine, this was owned. So this air compressor is extreme. It will pump up to 500 psi, which is a lot of air. This was owned by the city of Seattle, Washington.
Oh, really?
The city owned this. I bought it out of an auction. And I have a feeling that this, being as big as it is, was probably in a municipality to start multiple. These were, like in Wauchula, there were 7 of these in downtown Wauchula that ran Wauchula until the 80s, 70s or 80s. There were a lot of these engines all over the world. They're gone now.
What's the brand of this one?
Fairbanks Morse. Yep. And so is that. So to crank this, come on in. No, you're going to do this.
Me?
Yep.
Okay.
So let me show you what you're going to do.
Something with that handle right there.
Yep. Now the big mistake that everybody makes, and I see this all the time, is they go to crank one of these, and when they pull this out, they get into this panic mode and they hit themselves right in the jaw. And this will literally knock the teeth right out of your head.
I want to keep my teeth.
You want to keep your teeth. Okay, so what you want to do is you want to be out here, like this. You get it going as fast as you can, and all you have to do is just pull it back. You don't have to go into some big
Gyration.
So you want to practice? Practice. Practice. Well, you got to spin it fast. So you want to, like I said, you want your body this way. There you go. Now you're out of the circle of the crank. Yep. Fast as you can. Is that all you got? A little faster. Keep going. All right, pull it. Come on, muscles. The city's out of power, man.
We gotta get it going.
You gotta get it going. People are
It's
standing in the
pretty
car.
hard. You can try it though. It's pretty hard to turn. It doesn't go easy. Put your back into it.
He's doing better than you, James.
All right, pull it. No, close. You're close.
Anybody else want to give it a go before I get it done?
Yeah, why don't you?
I'm filming.
Dude. It's pretty heavy.
There you go. All right.
Okay.
Pull her on out.
That's one way to do
That's
it.
one way to pull it out.
Yeah.
It's all right. You gotta start somewhere.
Anybody else?
Let's
Wanna
see
try
you spin
Hannah?
it up.
Savannah?
Come on,
What's
speed
that?
Here. There you go.
That looks like an eagle.
Faster.
There's an
Come on.
eagle.
Oh, maybe
going.
not.
Pull it. There you go.
Oh my god.
Okay, so it's spun up.
She's running. So we're pumping water. That's your coolant. We got oil pressure. So life is good.
I just saved the city, guys.
Not yet, but we're one step closer.
We're one step closer to saving the power in the city. So it's moving 40 psi right now.
It's just a butterfly, Hannah.
And it's going to start charging this tank.
Yep. All right. So what I'm going to do, warm it up a little bit. I'm going to nail that air compressor and put it under a load.
So right now, where's the air going?
Nowhere. It's not doing anything yet.
So I'm going to engage it right now.
Okay.
Ready? Watch out for them bells.
Going through there, and now it's charging up that tank, filling it up with air.
Stay in there then. Something's gonna fall back, huh?
Okay, they're all loose on that one. It's not going to fall off because it's still sitting on those pins, on those bolts. It's not going to fall. No, I'm cool.
You hope.
Unless the slab's in like that, which I doubt. Okay. I think I got all of them except for this one. Here we go. Henry, step on in. Get those ones off. Not too bad. So that's going to allow us to see it. That's going to allow us to see it pretty good. Oh, we just got to put some oil in there. All right, put them all up. Looks like there's nothing more. Probably less than that. 40. Are these slots for those? These ridges here? No. It's just to keep it where it is and keep it in place to stay. Okay, so these oil and everything up in there. Because those are all going to start moving and twisting and turning. What kind of oil is that? Just motor oil? Anything you can buy today is better than what they had then. Like you can use vegetable oil?
That's just for the pigs.
Well, you can start doing the bolts over here. Start getting those bolts back on. Okay. Let me get the wrench so I can start tapping. It will get like oil and stuff on your hands. I don't want you guys to do that.
You wanna go help?
Make them all on that gauge. How much?
About 180.
180? What do we need to run it?
200.
About 200.
Go for 2. So the next thing we're going to do, we got to get it in time. So we've got to get that piston just past top dead center, just below.
Okay.
So, can you do me a favor? Go up top. Open this guy up. There you go. Alright, so you can take the video. So what those are compression release. What that does is when we turn this thing over, it lets air come out of the cylinder so it's not hard to turn. So, grab the bar. Put it in the flywheel.
so you just turn the air compressor off because we've got 200 psi in our tank.
Oh, we've got 200 psi. We're finally at about 200 psi.
Okay.
Yay!
So,
Wait, are we gonna focus?
still up. So now what we gotta do, we gotta turn this thing over and get it in the right position. So everybody get a hold of this. And what you gotta do is be careful because once this starts moving, so you're fixing to turn 12,000 pounds. This flywheel and that crankshaft weigh 12,000 pounds.
Get up there, Hannah,
Once it
Savannah.
starts moving, it wants to keep going. So if you're underneath it, be ready to get out. All right, you coming in? You wanna help?
Move over, Jack. Let her go. She's tall, but she's going in.
All right, you ready?
Okay. We're gonna pull down.
Pull it, yep. Go. All right. Okay.
So it has to be in a certain orientation right now.
Correct.
Top dead center.
Okay. So we've got to get the orientation of the pistons and the wheel right.
Yep. All right. So you guys grab it, pull it down, nice and easy.
Oh yeah.
Right there.
Just moved 12,000 pounds. So what are you looking at to help line it up?
So any Fairbanks Morse Model 32, which is what this is, if you look at it from the governor end, look at it this direction, the keyway should be in 10 o'clock.
Here's your keyway.
Yep.
It's in 2 o'clock now, but if you're looking from the,
If you're looking from the operator's end,
it's at 10 o'clock.
10 o'clock. It doesn't matter whether it's a single or a 6-cylinder.
You see the keyway that he's talking about, Jack? It's this right here.
Yeah.
This keyway would go all the way down.
Yep.
And that means you're oriented right at 2 o'clock
Yep.
or 10 from the other side.
All right, so you guys got to go up and close those compression releases.
Did that allow us to turn this?
Yep.
Yeah.
Did you hear the air coming out? We were turning it?
Yeah, because otherwise
Are
we wouldn't
these
have been able
both
to move that.
Yep.
set to the same?
No, they're opposite.
Okay.
Close them tight. Good job.
Is this two-stroke?
Yep.
Okay, so that's why there's either one could be top dead center, but this is the one that's getting fed the air.
Yep.
Okay.
So number 1 is the only one that has air injection. All right, come on down. No.
Ladies first, guys. If she wants to do it, we let her do it.
Okay, so here's what we're gonna do. What I want you guys to do is, first thing, open that valve right there. That
This
big
yellow one
valve.
right here, Henry.
Oh.
You need it to go
I think it goes.
halfway.
Water sausages are giving birth. I mean,
Okay.
You're gonna
Maybe
hear the
try
air.
to bring it this way, and the air's going to come through it.
Might be.
Okay, Jack, you try. Go the other way first, I think. Push. There you go. All right, you hear the air pressurize this right here?
Okay. That's good right there. Nope, straight. Nope. Like that. Perfect.
So now we just pressurize this line that's going right into there.
So this ran that generator making power that ran a celery packing house. So when you bring celery in off the fields, you got to run it through ice water, and that makes it crisp. And this provided the power and the cooling for doing that. Okay, so what you're going to do is when I tell you, you're going to push this button, right? You're going to push it all the way forward. That's going to start the engine turning. When I tell you to pull it back, pull it all the way back. It won't move. You can push the button down, yep. Push it all the way forward, and you got to push it down again to pull it all the way back. All right, so here's what I want you to do. So when I tell you, you're going to push that button. You got to pull on it. Push the button. Go and practice. Don't do it.
Pull it down.
But pull it to you. And push the button. It's tough.
There you go.
And then you're going to put it right in the middle.
The middle is at run. See? The middle is run. That's stop.
Yep.
Right now we're priming it,
So we're
right?
going to put it. Yep. We're going to put it right.
We're going to put it in prime right now.
Perfect. Right. Go and let it go. All right.
Okay, so it's in
Now I
prime
get it.
position.
Now I get it.
Yep.
Now I get it. Yep.
You ready? All right. So you hold that where you got it. And here we go. All right. Push it all the way forward. All the way.
Oh my God.
Wait for him.
mixer right there, a mixer tank.
This is
That
your,
oil.
that's your lubricator, that's your oil. So, come around over here. Okay.
Is that a battery?
Yep. So we're going to put that on 2. Close the choke. Take the wheels, spin them back that way until you feel compression, and then pull it through the other way. Okay, keep going. Yep. Now spin it this way, fast. Do it again. Keep going. You got to pull it through compression. All the way. Keep going.
No way.
That's it. So I'll show you this, and then I'll turn you all loose.
Oh yeah, I'll talk to him about that.
So years ago, I always remember my brother had that steam engine right there.
Which
And the
one?
boiler's going off of it. Hang on the wall on top. Steam engine.
Oh, the McCormick Deering?
No.
What are we talking about?
This little guy right here.
Oh, okay, got it.
So I decided that I wanted to design one and build one from scratch. I built that from scratch, from nothing. Drew it up, designed it, and built it.
How'd you machine it?
Mill, lathe.
Lathe.
So obviously we're not going to run it off steam, but
Got an air hose right here. You got a compressor? Yep, we got a compressor over there. So, this compressor back over there, it's charging this line. So normally this would be run off steam.
Yep. So I built that from scratch. Everything you see was machined from raw materials. Yep. That's my claim to fame.
That's big time stuff, Dave.
There you go. Built a steam engine.
How fast do you need to go?
It don't like high RPM, but I mean it'll run up there.
I don't break it.
So, something like this used to power like a steamship or a steamboat. That would run the